All right, we are here at CEDIA 2023 with Perlisten. We're going to talk about the cure for the common in-ceiling speaker. Hey folks, I'm Gene Delasala with Audioholics. How you doing, Dan? It's always awesome to do videos with you.
Doing great. Thanks for coming again.
So let's talk about the problem with most in-ceiling speakers, why there's a deficiency with these kind of products, especially when you're doing Atmos or even high-performance audio.
Sure. So, I mean, when you think about the in-ceiling, obviously it's a completely different position for the speaker relative to the listener. And getting a good cast of sound to the listening positions is much more difficult. It's a much more severe angle. And of course, how to get a speaker to play well at that angle over a broad range is very difficult. Yeah, and so that's what we attacked with the new in-ceiling product.
So I notice all your products have this DPC array, at least in the R series and the S series of products. It looks like you're doing something similar here. Why don't we talk a little bit about what you did with this waveguide, what this product is, and then we'll just go up through the range.
Yeah, sure. So all three models across the range are based on the same concept. So I can start with the R2, which is the simplest of them all. When you think about it from the beginning, is the frame is the waveguide. So the entire frame acts as the waveguide. So it's a rather large waveguide. What that allows us to do is control the dispersion over a very wide range of frequencies, down to almost 1 kilohertz. That's a large waveguide to achieve that. And then the next problem is, how do I get it projecting at the right angle? So you see the asymmetry in the waveguide, so it's pushing the wavefront 30 degrees towards the listener. Then the next level of the difficulty is getting the woofer in the mid. This one doesn't have a mid, but the other two do, without disturbing the waveguide. So that's where a lot of the work on the cavity and the grills were to create what effectively is a solid for the tweeter as it's looking at the waveguide. But when the woofer's playing, it's almost playing through the perforations as if they're not there. And you end up with a somewhat omnidirectional wavefront. So it doesn't disturb the tweeter, and you end up with the ability to get a really smooth axial response. And then it's just a matter of working the crossover and all the math to get the power response to be similar to all the other products in our line.
So just for people looking at this video, they may not appreciate the scale or size of this. What size of this is this woofer?
That's a 6.5.
So this is a 6.5-inch woofer. You're looking at what, about a 14-inch diameter?
Yeah, just short of that. It's a 12-inch cutout.
Yeah, so that's why the woofer might look a little small. This is just a very large baffle, basically, and that's where the magic happens, and that's how you're getting that great properties of the dispersion all the way down to 1 kilohertz from this, and then pointing it out also towards the listener as well.
Exactly.
So what's the next model here? This one gets pretty heavy because this has a back box.
Yep. So as we step up, now we add the mid-range, and similar concept where we're using the cavity and the grill to create a smooth transition from the waveguide to the actual mid-range, and we can put that in, and we can increase the efficiency of the speaker. So that's 86 dB, the R2 IC. This is a R3 IC. This is 89 dB.
So you got more cone area. So
you got more cone area, and now because you have the mid-range, kind of like in the DPC array, I use that to lower the distortion in the very critical mid-range, and then again you use it to direct the wavefront and get the polar characteristics you want. So there's a lot of kind of knobs and switches you can work to get the response you want.
So what THX certification does this
THX Dominus, yep. And then we add the aluminum enclosure for this level.
So now this is the R series still?
Yep, still R series.
Okay, so now we got the Big Billy Baru. This is the S. What's the difference now between going from...
very similar in design concept. It actually uses the same waveguide, but now we've got the beryllium dome and the TechStream mid and the TechStream woofer. And then the crossover is now back into the category of tight tolerance, the 1% tolerances, and then the 0.5 dB matching. But also it's more efficient because we've got the lighter weight driver. So this now pushes 90 dB, a little more power handling. So it just takes that to the next level. And actually, if you look at the CTA 2034 curves, this is just slightly better than an R3 as well. So it's the best we can do in this category.
I'm glad you're done with your explanation because this is murder on my bicep. This is about 30 pounds, right?
Right? Yeah. 22.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
So you got three versions of this product. Does this one have a THX rating as well?
Ultra. Yep.
Ultra rating, okay.
Yep.
And then we also have the on-wall speakers, which you basically retrofit an in-wall with a closure. You can make it into an on-wall.
Yeah, so we have the on-wall frame kits, we call them. You just use the existing in-walls, you put it in there, and you can mount it on the wall. There's 3 sizes, 4, 5, and 7.
Okay. So I'm really interested in what's going on over here. We see some subwoofers here. These are Roswell technology we're about to bust the lid on.
Yep.
Let's go over here and talk about these subs.
Yeah, maybe not Roswell tech, but these were concepts that we brought to the show to gain feedback on. R series, single woofer, because right now in the R series we have a push-pull 10 and a push-pull 12. And then what we did was single 10, single 12, single 15, single 18, based on the same amplifier. We simplified the input-output, but it's the same DSP section and the same touchscreen and the same app. So it fits right into the Perlisten line.
Is there any THX certification on these?
No, there won't be either.
So what's the price range from the 10 all the way to the 18?
So right now the MSRP is $2,200 here, and then 3, 4, and 5.
Okay.
Yep.
So there's not a lot of information out yet, but you're going to be getting us some press information.
Yeah, correct. Like the design, the woofers are done, the amplifier core technology is done, but we have to do all the tuning and finish the limiters, et cetera, et cetera. So it's going to take a while, but we've got the green light. We're going to go ahead with these. So that's the key takeaway from the show.
Is there an app on this like there are with your other
It'll be
subs?
exactly, it's the same touchscreen and the same app. Yep.
So you still have the PEQ function
Exactly.
and the delay and all
it'll
that?
fall right into your existing Perlisten family.
Okay.
Right.
So I just love the fact that you guys keep expanding your lines and you're getting to products that are more down to earth prices for, every home theater enthusiast to really get into.
Yeah. And exactly the same concept holds within the line. We make the sound quality across the R series. Obviously they're not push-pull, so it's maybe not quite the same sound quality level, but within this, the idea is that, from the 18 to the 10, you're choosing your SPL rather than your sound quality. We're not decontenting the features or the frequency response, group delay, all that. You're going to get the same animal. So then it's pick the number of subs and the output that you want rather than sacrificing sound quality.
And of course, we always recommend at least 2 subs, ideally 4 subs in every home theater install, or even 2-channel music.
Agreed. 100%.
Yeah. Well, guys, if you like this video, please hit the thumb up, hit the subscribe. Don't forget about our Patreon channel at patreon.com/audioholics. We appreciate your support. You get direct access to me if you want to suggest video topics. And until next time, my friends, keep listening. £30 right here.
Back straight. Gene, put your back into it.
Yeah.
No,
come on. 10 more reps.
You don't want to put your back into this. I would do triceps, but if I do, all right. Now